Thanks for dinner last night.
Oh, you're welcome.
Checking out holiday homes?
Something like that.
Where are you going?
I haven't made up my mind yet. The world is my oyster. I expect you travelled a lot in the army.
Yeah, Far East, the Gulf, all the shop. Just went where I was told.
And do you miss it?
Yeah, sometimes. I like an ordered life. I like to know what I'm doing.
Which is why you keep pressing me about my plans.
Well, I hope I haven't spoken out of turn.
No, I understand. What I do affects your future.
I'm enjoying the job. I like to think I could do a bit more, but if you've got different ideas, I need to know.
Callum, I really don't know myself yet, but when I have made a decision, I will tell you. But in the meantime, I would appreciate it if you didn't discuss it with anyone else.
Yeah, a police car's the only way to travel. As soon as you sleep here, they slow down to under the speed limit, so overtaking's easy.
Oh, they overtook cows. You were going across fields.
Still took you a while to catch me.
Oh, sounds like you caught yourself driving across that ford.
What's he doing here? I thought he was banished to the barn.
I'm entitled to a celebration breakfast on account of my exploits.
Yeah, well, I don't see why we need to celebrate you being a pillock. That never changes.
Hey, you got to see the funny side, though, eh?
Well, my adventures will go down in Dingle folklore.
I'd rather you'd have gone down for 6 months. You've caused me loads of bother. I mean, Mike Denzel was well put out.
He'll get over it. We're gradually breaking him into Dingle ways. I was worried when you went out with the copper at first, but he's turned out to be the only useful bloke you've ever had.
Right, that's it. Either you get back to the barn now or I'll kill you here and now. Get out. Go on. I'm warning you. Get out.
Hey, there's a furniture sale in Harrogate. Can we go over and see if anything takes our fancy?
Well, not today. Far too much work up at the farm.
Well, I'm sure Andy can manage without you for a couple of hours.
I can't leave him to do it all on his own.
Well, if you sold that field, then you could afford to take a lot more time off.
Oh, that wouldn't be fair on Zoe. She only sold it cheap to your dad to keep the kings off.
Well, all's fair in business. And they pay whatever you wanted.
How do you know that?
Because I was talking to Matthew. Well, he came by the garage and I thought he talked a lot of sense. You're not getting any younger, and a nice fat cheque could buy you a lot of holidays. And all the furniture that Diane could want.
You think I'd sell out the village for that? I've lived here all my life, Robert. I'm not going to stand by and watch the kings ruin the place.
Well, it's just one lousy field. Let's not get this out of all proportion.
Well, it's what comes afterwards that worries me. You need to decide where your loyalties lie, Robert.
Thank you for looking after her.
Well, we enjoyed it, didn't we, Jane? Yeah. Say goodbye, yeah. Let's take this on. In fact, I was hoping that we could do it again soon sometime.
Well, I'm sure there'll be plenty of other times.
Well, me and Dawn are going to go and stay at her mum's in Spain, and we're just wondering whether Jean could come with us.
I'll need to think about it.
'Cause I mean, TJ's going as well, so she'll have someone to play with. And you're getting on really well, you two, aren't you? Yeah.
I suppose we could try it for a weekend, see how it goes.
Yeah, well, I was thinking maybe slightly longer.
How long?
A month.
Scott, that is completely out of the question.
But why? I mean, you've taken her away for longer than that before.
Yes, but I'm her mother.
Yeah, and I'm her dad.
Scott, I'm quite happy for you to have her for the odd afternoon, but it'd be completely unsettling for her to be away from me for longer.
Yeah, but she was fine when I was looking after her while you were in hospital.
And I'm better now. And Jean's place is with me, and I'm sorry, but that's the way it has to be.
Scott.
You pushing your luck with Denzel yesterday?
I'm not interested in your opinion, Skipper.
Well, you should be. He could put half your family in prison.
Why? We helped him get his car back after someone nicked it.
Yeah, right. Like anyone believes that story, Chaz.
Don't blame me if he did finish with me after what my dad's put him through.
I suppose the fact he's kept trying shows how much he cares. The question is whether you feel the same way.
Been through some good times together.
That's not an answer.
Well, what do you want me to say? It's not like we're Romeo and Juliet or anything.
So you're just on the rebound?
No.
Don't recall you having these doubts with Carl.
That was different. And he never started issuing me with ultimatums either.
Maybe Denzel needs to know where he stands. I mean, he's a decent bloke. There aren't too many of those about. But if he doesn't float your boat, you really ought to let him down gently before someone gets hurt.
Are you ready to go?
I thought we'd give it a miss. I'm still a bit stiff after yesterday.
Oh, that's only because you fell off a couple of times. Honestly, you've improved so much it won't happen again.
My legs really ache.
Yeah, well, the best cure is to get straight back in the saddle.
Well, I've got to put the silage into store. That's going to take a couple of hours.
Well, I'll have the horses ready and waiting for you when you're done.
Does anyone ever say no to you?
Not twice.
Best get on with it then, aren't we?
Nice of you to call, Jack. Well, you might not feel that way when you've heard what I've got to say.
Oh, I'd never condemn a man for speaking his mind. Perhaps you'd like to make us some tea, Jimmy.
I wouldn't bother. I'm not stopping. If you've any more to say about that field, say it to me and not me son.
Don't know what you're talking about.
I'm sure you do. I've already had this out with Sadie and Jimmy. How many times do you lot need telling?
I'm sorry you're upset, Jack, but all we're trying to do is make you see the positive benefits of the scheme.
We know you've got objections, but that's what negotiations are for. I'm sure we can sort something out to keep everybody happy.
Yeah, well, I'll be happy when you leave this village how you found it.
You can't stand in the way of progress, Jack.
And you can't build a road across that field. I'd sooner be buried on it first.
Right, you can go now, Steph. We don't need you.
Oh, come on, Betty. It's quicker with three of us, and I've got nothing better to do.
Some people just can't take a hint.
Oh, she's been very helpful.
Oh, I shouldn't trust her. She's done terrible things.
You'll make mistakes, Betty.
It's not gossip. I don't want you to get the wrong impression, because we're mostly good people here. We're very friendly.
I'm glad to hear it. I'm hoping to settle here myself.
Oh, well, that is good news. And, will we be meeting your lady wife soon?
My wife?
Well, I couldn't help but notice your wedding ring.
Ah, yeah. She's abroad at the moment.
Oh.
Training.
What?
His wife. She's a speed skater. On the slopes in Austria. Oh, yeah. He don't like to talk about it, you know. She's trying to make the British team.
What's that? Oh, by the way, Doctor, next time you call your lady wife, would you wish her good luck from us all?
What?
I'm sure she'll make the Olympics.
He is lucky I still let him into Jean's life at all. There is no way I'm letting him take her to Spain.
I don't see why not.
Scott and Dawn are kids. They'll probably go off to clubs every night, leave her with her mother or worse. I can't risk that.
You're being a bit unfair. He did a good job of looking after her when you were in hospital.
Get back in the barn.
Nothing to do out there.
Oh, we can soon solve that. Here, you can peg out this washing.
Why is everybody picking on me?
Because you're nothing but trouble.
Well, that's our Chazzy's fault. None of this would have happened if she hadn't started interfering with me drinking.
You ungrateful old sock. She's only doing that because she cares about you.
Well, I never asked to be done good. It's an infringement of my civil liberties. It's a sovereign right of every Englishman to get legless when he chooses.
Will you shut up? I'm trying to pick some winners here and I can't concentrate with you talking out of your backside.
I'm with Chaz on this one. You stay off the booze and you stay out of trouble.
My life is officially over.
You don't cause any more problems between Durntle and her, right?
Yeah.
That girl deserves a bit of happiness and you are not going to spoil it. Right, peg out the washing.
Can't believe you're sticking up for him.
Well, this is not a question of sides. We have to remember fathers have rights too.
I didn't choose Scott to be the father of my child, so as far as I'm concerned, he has to earn his rights.
You have to admit he's trying to do his best for her.
Because he knows I wouldn't let him near if he stepped out of line. Maybe he wouldn't be as careful in Spain.
He loves her. He'd never do anything to harm her.
Yeah, he's big on family ties. He beat a man to a pulp for talking to his sister.
I'm not defending him for attacking Frank Bernard.
Actually, you don't have to. He still thinks what he did was right. Do you really think I want my daughter to be brought up by somebody like that?
We have to hope he's learned from his mistakes.
Well, you live in hope. It's your job. Jean is the most important thing in my world, and I cannot risk letting him take her away from me.
I blame you for all this trouble with Jack Sugden. It's your road rage that turned him against us.
Well, if we're digging up ancient history, there's a few things I could throw at you.
Well, you two shut up. I can't hear myself think.
Me neither. Sadie, take the rest of the afternoon off.
Well, why me? Why not him?
Because me and the boys have got something to talk about.
Fine. Have it your way.
Nice one, Dad. Especially she doesn't know what we're up to. We can't trust her.
You just leave me to handle Sadie, and you concentrate on the matter in hand. We need that access road. How can we get Jack Sugden to sell?
I don't think it's going to be too much of a problem. We managed to persuade Zoe to sell us Tate trash.
We just need you to tell us the gloves can come off.
You just do whatever it takes. I don't want to know the details.
You been pegging out all this time?
It's hard work out there. I got caught in the sheet 3 times.
I told you. The man's good for nothing.
I don't see you helping out round the place.
Hey, you're not in the doghouse, I'm not.
There's a stack of washing up waiting for you in the sink.
Yeah, when you finished that, I brought my best boots down for you to polish.
Look, I borrowed a police car. I didn't murder anyone.
Oh, well, there was the case of them DVDs falling off the lorry.
You were with me that night.
You're the one the cops are waiting to charge. Denzel would love to find an excuse.
Nah, you wouldn't grass me up. It's against your principles.
In your case, I could make an exception.
I'm just trying to get you on the straight and narrow.
I don't want any help. Going back to the barn, and I might be there for a very long while.
You know, I could get to like this.
Yeah, I've started work on that game farm business plan we talked about. I'd be grateful for any suggestions.
Not now, Callum, I'm busy.
Right, sorry. We'll talk about it later, shall we?
He'd be working on that for ages, you know.
Yep, and Jean's been working on making a mess, so while she's asleep, I intend on clearing up.
Bad day.
I'm fed up with people telling me how to run my life. So if you have any plans to join the chorus, I strongly advise against it.
Yeah. Friend?
Yes. You've always been that. Do you fancy a game of croquet?
No, I've been... Croquet? In this weather? No. I've been up since 4. This is the only thing that's keeping me awake.
I have a lot of pent-up anger, so I can either take it out on a ball or the next person who annoys me.
Thanks.
I'm the one who should be thanking you for getting me away from all of Betty's questions.
Oh, you'll get used to it. Villages like this, well, they run on gossip.
I've noticed. She's already hinted what a wicked person you are.
And it's the truth. I've not long been out with Nick.
There really isn't any need for you to explain anything.
Ah, but there is. You see, if I don't tell you, someone else will.
Well, since I'm making a fresh start here myself, I intend to make my own mind up about people. Okay?
Suits me.
You got my answer?
I've always tried to be straight with you. And believe it or not, I've been trying to keep my dad out of trouble too.
I know, it's been hard. But it'll be easier when you join the army.
What's that got to do with it?
Well, you won't be under their influence.
Are you trying to tell me that I ain't got a mind of my own, that I just do exactly what they tell me?
Face it, the sort of scrapes they get into, they're always going to make trouble for you.
They're only letting off steam. They're not real villains, you know.
You try telling them that at the station.
Look, my family might be a bit rough around the edges, but there are far worse out there. they're not good enough for you, then maybe I'm not either.
Who's upset you then?
Scott, for trying to wheel his way further into Jean's life. And Ashley, for trying to make me listen to a convicted thug. And Tom King, for reminding me what empire building did to my father.
Well, I'm really rather glad you never took up fencing. Sorry. So are you off the whole village then?
You got it. That's it. You lose.
God for that. I'd have carried on and I've had an heart attack.
Try and remember how I told you to hold the reins. There you go. That's better.
Won't make a difference. Still doesn't like me.
Walk on. I like you a lot better if you move with him instead of against him. There's really nothing to be frightened of.
I'm not frightened. I'm just not into horses. I don't need to be. No one uses them on farms these days. Stick to my tractor, thanks.
Not half as much fun.
You only say that because you couldn't drive one.
Of course I could.
Big talk, eh? Well, let's see if you'll put your money where your mouth is. I'll carry on with these lessons if you can drive my tractor across that field. Deal?
You're on. Come on.
Oh, Paddy, I've really let this place run to seed.
Well, I don't think it'd take that much to get it back up to scratch, you know.
Not sure it's worth it.
I do know how you feel.
Doubt it.
Well, I've hardly had the greatest few months myself, have I? Had an affair with a divorcee from hell. I really messed up my marriage. So I think, compared to me, you've done quite well.
Listen, what are you going to do?
I don't know. I don't know how many options I've got there.
Are you going to try and get back together with Emily?
No, I reckon it's too late for that now.
Well, maybe that's the difference between us, because if there's one thing my father did teach me, is that when you've decided what you want, you don't let anyone stop you from getting it.
So what do you want?
To start getting my priorities right, which means putting me and Jean first and living the life that we choose, not what other people expect.
Where's Chaz gone?
Changing the lager barrel.
Yeah, avoided me probably. I think I messed things up earlier.
Shouldn't blame yourself. I'm surprised you put up with the way she treats you.
What do you mean?
Oh, pulling the wool over your eyes yesterday. And being an item with a dingle can't be good for your police career.
That's not her fault. She's not like the rest.
Really? I've seen her get herself into a few scrapes in here, I can tell you. She hits out first and she thinks about it later.
Look, I know she's got a bit of a temper.
And runs in the family. You know, it's only a matter of time until they get her involved in something really serious. Maybe you'd be doing yourself a favour if you walked away now.
And maybe Den and Chaz are big enough to sort their own problems out. She'll be back up in a minute. Can I get you a drink while you're waiting?
Thanks, Dan. Of course. I brought the insurance documents you were looking for.
Thanks. How long do you think it'll take to get the halls you wanted?
Oh, we're almost there.
Everyone's been very helpful.
Certainly made a big impression on Betty. She's been telling us all about you. I didn't realise your wife was a famous athlete.
Nor did I. Till today.
I've checked with the diary. You could hold your first clinic next week.
Perfect. I think I'm going to like it here.
Good. Cheers.
I don't think you should make any hasty decisions. I think maybe what you really need is a holiday.
What, stretch out in the sun and slap on the factor 30 and everything will seem better?
I wouldn't knock it if I was you. You're luckier than most people, aren't you? You can afford to go wherever you want, for as long as you want.
So?
So, go wherever you want, but just take time to think things through more calmly. And I reckon in a month or two, you'll probably start to miss us all.
And why would I do that?
Look, Zoe, your family have lived round here for a long time.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I went to visit them yesterday, in the cemetery. Not quite ready to join them yet.
We've still got lots of friends round here, though.
Well, like Ashley, who keeps trying to persuade me to share my child with a local skinhead. Or all those cheery folk who think I'm a dangerous nutter that needs locking up.
You're over that, though, aren't you? You're better now. You're ready to pick your life up again.
But I don't think it was ever my life. I came here for Dad. I stayed here for Chris. I have done my duty. I told you, it's time I started doing what I want.
Maybe. I just think you need to be really sure before you leave all this behind.
I've got to be going. Got a meeting of the parish council I can't get out of.
Well, I'm sure I can think of an Olympic excuse for you.
Don't tempt me.
Ooh, I can never resist temptation.
Ooh, I shall remember that. Well, I've no doubt we'll see you next week.
Still waiting?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's probably Skyped off somewhere. She doesn't have a very strong work ethic, you probably noticed that.
I know you think I'm a bit of a mug, but Chas means a lot to me.
Well, like they say, love is blind.
Someone to see you.
Look, I maybe said a few things I shouldn't have before.
Maybe I overreacted. I know you could have lost your job over this.
And I know that's not really your fault. Well, none of us can choose a parents, can we?
Well, if we could, it'd be long gone. Bottom line is, I really do care about you, and I really want this to work.
Me too.
So, maybe we should give it another go.
Ain't young love grand?
Well, it sounds like you've made your mind up. I hope you don't live to regret it.
I'm sure I won't. I've just started to enjoy myself. Selling that field to Jack for £1. Look on Tom's face was classic. It'll be even better when I sell this place to someone else.
You won't like that.
Well, that's his problem. He swindled me out of Tate trash.
So you decided to settle a few old scores before you go.
There's still a bit of Tate in me. There are people after my land, my house, my money, my daughter. They're all going to find that I'm a lot tougher than they think.
You just remember, I'm on your side. It's fresh starts.